Hi, I'm Barrington.
And I'm Hillary. We're the Nevada Dems training team.
Welcome to Caucus 101. We're going to give you a brief overview of how the caucus process works here in Nevada.
A caucus is simply a neighborhood meeting of Democrats.
They join others in their precincts to begin registering their preferences for Democratic candidates running for president.
On February 20th, 2016, Nevada will be the first state in the West and the third state in the country to make its voice heard in the 2016 Democratic presidential primary.
Our party is a big tent, and we want Democrats of all stripes to participate.
Nonpartisans and registered Republicans who wish to re-register as Democrats can do so on caucus day.
First-time voters and voters who will be 18 by November 8th, 2016 can join us as well.
Nevada's diversity mirrors America's diversity.
And America will be watching to see who Nevada selects on February 20th, 2016.
Your caucus location will likely be somewhere nearby, like a school, community center, or firehouse.
You can find your caucus location by going to our website, nvdems.com, and using our caucus locator tool.
Or skip the line by taking the Caucus Express and pre-registering online at caucus.nvdems.com, where you will be prompted to enter your email address, name, zip code, and date of birth.
When you arrive at your caucus location, simply show the check-in voluntary pre-registration code and you're good to go.
From there, you will receive a presidential preference card, which will serve as your ticket to caucus.
Because a caucus is a neighborhood meeting, you won't be going into a booth, but you'll be breaking out around the room into preference groups for the candidate of your choice. This grassroots meeting is run by you or someone in your neighborhood.
We call this person a precinct chair. A precinct chair is someone who's been recruited and trained by the Nevada State Democratic Party to run your local meeting. The first thing they will do is call the caucus to order and welcome attendees.
Around noon, they will count the number of people in the room and announce the number needed for viability. Viability is a minimum number of attendees each group needs in order to be awarded one delegate.
Each precinct is assigned a certain number of delegates based on the number of registered Democrats in that precinct prior to caucus day.
In order to determine viability, you will first need to count all of the eligible caucus attendees in your precinct. An eligible caucus attendee is anyone who has completed the registration process and has been given a presidential preference card. For a precinct who is only electing one delegate, you will simply use majority rule, and the preference group with the most people in it will receive that delegate. If your precinct is awarding 2 delegates, you will multiply the total attendees by 0.25. If your precinct is awarding 3 delegates, you will divide the total of attendees by 6. If your precinct is awarding 4 or more delegates, you will multiply the total number by 0.15. One thing to keep in mind is that when you are determining viability, you must always round up to the next whole number.
Once this number has been determined, they will announce it to the entire room.
Next, caucus goers will have 15 minutes to work the room and convince other voters to join their preference group.
Once caucus attendees have had 15 minutes to align, the precinct chair will go around the room and count the number of members in each group.
Voters in groups that did not meet the threshold for viability will have 15 minutes to realign with another non-viable group or with the group that's already viable.
A speaker from each viable group will be allowed to make a pitch for their candidate to caucus goers who are realigning. Remember, only caucus attendees in non-viable groups are allowed to realign.
The precinct chair will allow another 15 minutes for the second alignment. From here, they will award delegates to each viable candidate.
To figure out how many delegates a preference group has won, you will first count the total number of people in that preference group. Then you will multiply that by the total number of delegates being awarded in your precinct. Once you have that number, you will divide it by the total number of eligible caucus attendees at your precinct. In many cases, this number will be a decimal, and since delegates must be awarded as whole numbers, in this case you would round 1.5 up to 2.
The precinct chair will then report these results back to the Nevada State Democratic Party.
Next, members of the precinct caucus will sign up or elect members to the county central committee.
Finally, resolutions can be submitted to the party platform, and if there's no further business, the caucus will be adjourned. After the caucuses, delegates will go on to their county conventions, where they can then be re-elected to their state convention and on to the Democratic National Convention.
To make it to the national convention, you must go through every step of the process, starting with your precinct caucus on Saturday, February 20th, 2016. You have the power to influence who wins our 2016 Democratic presidential nomination. This is your chance to stand up, be heard, and get counted.
Please remember to follow us online at nvdems.com, on Twitter and Instagram at NVDems, and on Facebook at the Nevada State Democratic Party.
Go to caucus.nvdems.com right now to pre-register for your neighborhood caucus.